Well, I think America starts out with a very low level of choice traditionally. Something that people often don't realize is that compared to other countries, we have very little school choice in the United States. What we call school vouchers in the United States, in other words, the government being willing to give you money to send your child to a private school and pay that private school's tuition, a school voucher is the norm around the rest of the world. Almost every European country has school vouchers for private school attendance. They all have a lot more choice than we do. And most of the Far East essentially has school vouchers, again, although it's more for after-school private programs than we have. So we start off with a very low level of school choice. People just aren't used to it. They're accustomed to the idea that they have to send their child to the local public school. And I think changing our mentality to accepting the idea that school choice could work is probably the single most important obstacle. The typical American just is not sure he or she feels comfortable with the idea of school choice. That being said, suburban parents do practice a lot of school choice. They practice it in a traditional form, which is that they move to a house that is near the school where they want their children to attend. And they would feel very upset if we were to take away that form of school choice. Poor parents, on the other hand, often have no choice about what schools their children are going to attend. They can't afford to move around between different houses and select the house that's closest to a school that works well. So, so we have a situation in which we don't have enough school choice generally. Poor parents certainly don't have enough school choice. And then what are the obstacles to school choice? Well, the obstacles to school choice are largely political. There are a lot of inside interests in schools that are threatened by school choice, because one of the first things school choice will do is it will close failing public schools, because parents will leave them in droves, and that will mean that certain jobs are lost, and certain people may not be able to continue to run regular public schools. So there are lots of people who would prefer that the status quo remain the status quo, and parents and students are not that well mobilized politically, whereas the interests who are inside schools are really quite well mobilized politically. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of influence, and they're very organized.